Since we're so uncomfortable talking about these topics, what we tend to do is surround ourselves with people just like ourselves. So if I'm a baby boomer, and baby boomers hang out with baby boomers, millennials hang out with millennials, Gen Xers and Gen Zs, the same thing. What happens though when we're in those homogenous groups is that sometimes we start complaining about people not in those groups. In other words, we talk about the other, those folks that are not part of who we are. And what makes it worse is we tend to talk in generalities. Now, I know everybody doesn't do that, but go along with me. We do tend to talk in generalities. And what's worse is that nobody intercedes to stop that kind of conversation. What I mean, for instance, is baby boomers will say, oh, those millennials, they just are so entitled. And the millennials will say, you know, I got to teach the baby boomers how to turn on a computer, right? Now, of course, that doesn't mean everybody is that way, but when we make those kind of generalized comments, it goes into our brain. And it stays there until we need to make a decision about people in that particular group. Now, on the screen, of course, you see many different categories of how we end up being the us and them syndrome. And there are many more. One of the things that you can do right away is when you hear people making these very generalized statements is be willing to disrupt the biased comments. And what I mean by disrupt is simply ask a question. Help me know why you think that. Gee, that's not my experience, because sometimes just asking the question will cause people to think and help them get out of their emotional thinking, which is where that comes from, and get more into their cognitive thinking.